Yo, welcome back to another video, guys. Before you guys look at the title and think to yourselves, alright, he's completely lost it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really think I was gonna be making a video like this. I know I made three videos talking about specifically 360s, but I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you juke? How do you survive? How do you even play this game anymore considering killers got quote-unquote buffed? And the only way to give you an actual constructed answer is by making a video about it. I don't want to give you guys a super long intro, so we're going to jump straight into it. But the way I'm going to structure this video is by going through the categories and what I think makes you a better survivor. Obviously, many people know me as someone that likes to be quote-unquote toxic and not really play the game the way it's supposed to be played. But I'm going to give you guys as much information as I can that I think will help you out in the long run and at least give you a better understanding on how to play Survivor. So the first thing I feel you should be doing when you're in a chase in order to survive is by learning how to position your camera. This might be something that's super simple to a lot of you, but a lot of the times I see people dying just running straight, throwing down pallets, and just overall not having any understanding where the killer is. By positioning your camera, not only does it allow you to know exactly where the killer is, but it also allows you to use the environment around you to the best of your abilities. What I mean by that is there's a lot of things on the map like window vaults, pallet loops, which are there to work for you, but can also mess you up if you don't notice that the killer's going all the way around to catch you. Looking behind you and just understanding what the killer has in mind helps you decide whether or not you want to go through with the action of vaulting or throwing down a pallet, or faking these actions, which will give you enough time to run them around again. I think it's pretty obvious that all of these techniques lead up to just wasting the killer's time. By wasting the killer's time, not only do you survive longer, but you give your teammates more time to doing generators, which will then power the doors, which will lead towards you escaping, unless you piss off the killer to the point where he wants to fucking face camp you. God, this video is already not making any sense. Alright, so the next biggest thing that I think is crucial for you to learn right off the bat, which will also tie in with your camera angle, is learning how to pallet loop. This is a technique that I know pisses off every single killer main out there, and for some reason it's gotten the title of being quote-unquote toxic. As a survivor, you got these pallets scattered around the map, which will be able to be thrown down whenever you decide, and help separate you from the killer. However, this game has been out for 2 years now, which means killers are going to adapt, and are going to try to avoid from being stunned. If you're in a chase and the killer's not dead behind you, running through the pallet might make the killer respect it, thinking you're going to throw it down, and gives you the opportunity to running through it again. At the same time, the killer might not respect it and swing through it, but with the pallets these days, you usually already get hit through it, so running through it might actually give you that distance and save your ass from fucking bleeding. All of this ties down to also wasting a lot more time, which is definitely beneficial towards you, and will save you pallets that cannot regenerate, which means you want to be resourceful with them. Adopting this technique will allow you to stay alive longer, and will also boost your confidence and give you a better experience in this broken game. So one of the last things I wanted to talk about before I wrap up the video, because I didn't want to make it a really long, in-depth video, is the topic of mind games. Mind games are a type of juke in this game that are very, very inconsistent, but definitely take some skill to perform. In order to mind game, you gotta have some sort of confidence and not be freaking out 24/7 while in a chase. To perform one, you gotta put your mind in the killer's mind and kind of guess what his next moves are. If you're running up to a window, put yourself in the killer's shoes and think to yourself, wouldn't it be just a lot easier to walk around and then smack them down instead of following them through the window and making the chase a lot longer? As a killer, it is extremely easy to cut someone off like this, but as a survivor, you can just fake that window, and instead of pressing space or whatever platform you're on, you can decide not to vault it, and then run a direction that gets you as much distance away from the killer as possible. There's also many different ways to perform a mind game. Some examples are like faking a window while you run up to one, and then the killer thinks you're gonna vault it, and then they swing at the window but you're still running. Or another one is when you vault a window and then the killer follows you by vaulting the same window while you're crouching beside them, and then they go in a direction thinking you're there when you're actually running the opposite way. Something you have to keep in mind though with mind games and just really anything in this game is it's gonna take a lot of practice, and you're not going to be able to pull something off against every single killer you go against. Dead by Daylight is a game you have your good days and your bad days, and some days you honestly just get fucking shitted on. For a new player, probably every fucking day. Oh, I promised myself I'd never talk about this again. in one of my videos. 360s are something that don't even work anymore, if I'm being quite honest. Back in the day, 360s were super easy to perform, considering the hitbox on survivors were not as big, and killers didn't have as much auto aim. 360s usually only work on really bad killers, if I'm being quite honest, and the way you do them is by turning your character one way, and then moving your camera the other way. I'm not going to go into full detail on how to perform this, considering it's pretty much a cringe fest at this point. I've made around 19 montages on them, and I regret every one. If you severely want to understand how to pull one off, though, I have 3 videos. Fucking 3. Explaining how to do one. Even though at this point, they're probably just gonna kill you more than save your ass. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I didn't even want to make a really long tutorial. I kind of just wanted to give you guys an understanding on what goes through my mind when I'm getting chased, and how I handle situations when a killer wants to eat my asshole. If you guys honestly like videos like this, though, let me know in the comments, because I really have no idea. And yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna sign it off here. Good luck, all you new players out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night, guys.